Ladies and gentlemen, Andy, the next 10 years, what does prosperity look like? What do you know that people don't know? How can you help inform? This is a digital, we got like 18 cameras recording this. Put something down that can help inform society, so they don't have to hold their breath and wait for another one of your books.
John, the first thing I want to put down is a thank you to you, the greatest convener in Boston, for bringing us together. Okay. John Werner, thank you.
We're editing that.
Don't edit that. All right. You wanted 3 scenarios, relatively short term, about the future.
Yeah.
Okay, then stop talking so I can do that.
All you.
Okay,
all
cool.
you.
Scenario number 1, our economic prosperity is going to increase over the next 5 or 10 years. There are a lot of people saying AI is going to take all the jobs. The last time we had a very powerful wave of machine learning technology, I was kind of one of the people saying it might take a lot of the jobs. I was wrong about that. I try to learn from experience. The shortest explanation for why we're not going to face the AI-induced job apocalypse. I love this phrase. I'm going to steal it from my friend, co-author, co-founder Eric Brynjolfsson. He just looks at a crowd like you all and says, does anybody here think there's a shortage of work that needs to get done? When you phrase the question that way, it becomes ridiculous. Then the question is, great, how do we make sure that all the work there gets done? Part of it is innovation and entrepreneurship. We have to do probably some additional work to accomplish the work that desperately needs to get done, but for which the market might not be willing to pay the wages that we're used to. That's a tough problem. We have approaches to that. I'm not worried about the AI job apocalypse. I am pretty sure that AI is the best skill delivery tool that we humans have ever come up with. I am suddenly pretty competent at writing code. I don't write code, right? Everybody has this magic toolkit available to help them realize their ambitions. So skills, entrepreneurship are going to go up, prices are going to go down, economic prosperity gets better. That's kind of the least interesting of the 3 scenarios. Number 2, we're going to see higher levels of human flourishing. Our lives are going to get better because of AI and in general this wave of technological progress that we continue to underappreciate. Let me give you a couple different kinds of example of what I'm talking about. Health is relatively important to all of us, right? John, you and I are old enough to remember when if you had cystic fibrosis, the only question was, how many years of life can we squeeze out for you? And those are low quality years of life because your lungs are trying to drown you and you have to take all these very, very tough interventions to keep you alive for a while longer, right? Due to recent advances in drugs and cocktails of drugs, if you are born with cystic fibrosis today, your life expectancy at birth is 82 years. It is almost indistinguishable from a perfectly healthy person. That's the kind of progress that we're seeing. There was a presentation of pancreatic cancer survival rates at a professional conference a couple weeks ago, professional oncologists. When they showed the results, the crowd leapt to their feet and gave them a standing O. This was not a marketing conference. So we're seeing these improvements in human health that are not rounding error. These are remarkable improvements in some of the most dire challenges that we faced at having long, healthy lives. There's a piece of research that I just started to hear about like yesterday or 2 days ago that I still can't quite believe. GLP-1s, we've kind of one-shotted obesity, basically, which is an unbelievable benefit for tons of people. It improves their lives. How do we know? This research came out just yesterday that looked at people who took GLPs and tracked different life outcomes. Look, this is apparently very well done research. Single females who were on GLP-1s saw their marriage rates, their partnership rates, increase by 29 percentage points. Let me be super clear about that. That's not 29%. That's not going from 10% to 13%. That's going from 10% to 39%. This is a gigantic leap forward in the thing, finding a partner is kind of an important thing to do for your life. The other aspects of flourishing that we're going to see, AI has helped us read scrolls that were in a Roman library when Vesuvius erupted and buried Pompeii in ash. Somebody's library got embedded in ash. The scrolls were all wrapped up. You couldn't open them. We still don't know how to open them, but we found a way to scan them and then translate them and realize what we're saying. So we're opening up libraries from the ancient world. Our stock of knowledge is about to increase. Both these things are going to continue over the next 5 to 10 years. My third scenario, the one I'm unfortunately pretty confident about, we are still going to emphasize the negative. We're going to sit here, we're going to complain about all the terrible bad things that are happening, and we're going to be professional pessimists and downers about this period of progress that we're living through. And that negative cheerleading is unfortunately going to be led by people from fancy universities, because the way you signal how smart you are if you're at a fancy university is by being more pessimistic than the person next to you. So that's my dire. So we're going to continue to accentuate the negative.
What's the X factor that people may not be talking about that is going to lead to some profound outcomes in the next 10 years?
I mean, didn't I just kind of give you a core dump about that?
Yeah.
But because I don't think we're talking enough. We're not trying to balance the scorecard. We're not trying to get an overall view of what's going on. We spend too much time problematizing instead of analyzing. We pick out a thing that might go wrong, and we spend all of our time talking about this. The fact that we still have this somewhat serious discussion is the AI going to kill us all? This is bizarre to me. If you're going to make an extraordinary claim like that, the onus is on you to provide some evidence about AI rising up inadvertently or deliberately and killing us all. I haven't seen that evidence anywhere, but yet we're still bogged down in this nonsense conversation. Very powerful technologies bring new risks, bring new harms. They are used by bad actors to do bad stuff. We know this. On balance, they still make our lives better.
So you are someone that's in big demand with Fortune 1000 companies that have 500,000 employees. I know you do the circuit where you tell them where the world is going. I think 3 is the new 1,000. 3 people can do what 1,000 could have done a year ago with agents. What does that mean for the big companies? And are big companies going to adapt? Are they going to change how they're doing? Or are the new 3 going to do what the multinationals have been doing? Like, how does that play out?
I was just back at my home base of MIT talking about this with the leadership team of a decent-sized organization today, and I gave them another prediction, one that I want to be wrong about. If you look at where the value's been created in the economy, if you look at where the high-growth places have been springing up in the American economy, they are from a really small patch of real estate in Northern California. I wish I could say they're from the New England area because of all of our deep technological expertise and great universities. Not true. The disruption is originating from a really small peninsula of land in Northern California. And the incumbent economy, the legacy economy, the 20th century economy, okay, they're growing, they're becoming more productive. Are they ready for the wave of disruption that is coming at them? I wish they were. I don't think they are. We're in the early innings of a whole lot of change in the business world. I'll say it one more time. We're going to be the beneficiaries of that change, but there is going to be some turbulence and some headwinds involved for historically successful companies. I wish they were giving the geeks more of a run for their money so far.
So let me describe 3 types of people. There are people who throw up their hands right now at this new technology saying, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
I'm going to resign. I'm just going to watch it from afar. Then there are people who are like, I know there's a shift going on. I'm going to be the bridge from the old economy to the new economy. And then there are going to be the leaders. You know, Steve Jobs may have been one who are going to lead at this moment and kind of, change the vector of society. What qualities for this new type of economy that is evolving around us do the leaders need to succeed and to create a better future? And what kind of skill set do the bridgers, which I think are as important? You have all these tech companies that weren't AI native, that if they don't become AI native, they're going to be cooked, because the 3 is the new 1,000 is going to be able to do what they did. So as someone who studies the human nature and understanding prosperity, I feel like there's a skill set that there's a real premium on right now. Can you maybe describe how you see it?
I like your categorization, and I'm not worried about the people you describe as the leaders, right? Incredibly high agency people have already jumped on AI, and they're doing what they do with it. But you bring up that middle group, which is really interesting, because in any decent-sized organization that I've spent any time with, there's this crop of people who you probably would not have predicted in advance, who are super enthusiastic about this new toolkit, and they're the power users or the evangelists of the people who are on the fence or who find it super intimidating. You know, the discussion about agents and orchestration and coordination and your markup files and all, that's intimidating, right? I still find it a little bit intimidating, largely because it changes so quickly. But when someone sits you down and says, let me just show you this thing that I built, and I built it by talking to it and steering it and guiding it. That can be tremendously empowering. So I like your categorization. I love the importance of that second group. We need to do a better job of identifying. We need to do a better job of giving them a platform or letting them
valuing
them, letting them.
Because they could give up. That's a hard job.
It's a hard, yeah. And so let's make sure we can identify them, value them, give them the platforms and the venues that they need to bring other people along with them.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, they're architects, famous architects, and they're celebrity academics. We are in front of a celebrity academic, and you see how much substance there is behind this one. Some of them, the others are not so much. Andy, thank you for your leadership.
I'm glad I'm the one that showed up today and actually accepted the RSVP.
No, but Andy is a very important person for the region and for the global economy. Thank you for your time.
John, thank you. Thanks all.